What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, I want to speak on a recent post that I saw about Michael Jordan, and also just comment on like Michael Jordan and the way he played the game of basketball and you you'll never see that. I don't think, in my opinion, that you'll ever see somebody play the game the way Mike played it, right? And so this post was on Facebook, and it says that Michael. Hold on, let me get this off the screen. Okay, it says, all right, Michael Jordan turning every game into a spectacle of dominance. His unforgettable performances uh, were a blend of relentless drive and unparalleled skill, right? And so the thing that I appreciated about Mike back when Mike played, it is that his drive and his skill. Like Mike never, in my opinion, like Mike never cheated the game. Even when Mike was going through those, through the rough years when he played for the Bulls, he was going through the rough years and he lost to Boston and Detroit, basically owned them in the early years. But Mike, no matter what was going on, Mike always played his game. Mike never it was never a game where, like where you could see that like Detroit might have took Mike's heart or Boston might have took Mike's heart. And Mike just, he like shrunk in the big moments. Like Mike never had that kind of, he never had that kind of game, and you can, even Kobe, as great as Kobe was, Kobe said he had a game, he had a situation like that when he was I think like his first time playing in the playoffs, he had a situation like he felt like he didn't play up to his ability, and he kind of, after that, Kobe kind of got it together. Even Magic Johnson, Magic Johnson kind of shrunk one time in a big championship moment. They called Magic Tragic Johnson, because of the way but Mike was different. Mike never he never had that. And that is like, I mean, for somebody to go through their whole career and never have that type of game where they just shrink in the big moments, and because some people have to get used to those big moments, but it just seemed like Mike was born for that. He was born for that. And so at the bottom of this post, it goes on to say Michael Jordan is the only player in the entire history of the NBA to never once score under 15 points in any playoff game he played in. And so, I mean, you get and never scoring under 15 points. That is in a playoff game. Like playoff games, that's when the intensity, the defense really clamped down on people in the playoff games. And Mike never experienced that. Mike set the bar so high that once fans saw the way Mike played, they thought that was like, that's how everybody's supposed to play. Like that was regular, but that it wasn't regular. Like Mike was just on a different level. And for him to, I remember Mike scored 63 points against the Boston Celtics in a playoff game. Man, he just, they couldn't stop Mike, and Mike couldn't get past the Celtics, but he gave him that work. Then when Mike played against the Detroit Pistons, right? Mike still, used to give Detroit that work. Mike couldn't get past him at first, but he just gave Detroit that work. He was the one person on that team until Mike got some help, until everybody, was able to raise their level of play. He was the one person on that team that nobody, that the Detroit Pistons couldn't do nothing with. Mike was so dominant and so, so much of a force that they even had Jordan rules, like they made sure that Mike didn't get no dunks or no easy layups. So you know what I mean? They would pull Mike out of the air and knock him down and hard fouls. But Mike still wasn't detoured, man. Do you like the kind of determination and heart that it takes for somebody to fight through something like that? You know, if you ever played basketball and you know that when you go to jump, you know, even if you're shooting a jumper or you go to lay the ball, once you leave the ground, you are vulnerable. You know, and Detroit Pistons was knocking Mike down. You know, I remember Dennis Rodman when he played for the Detroit Pistons, he put a big knot on Scottie Pippen's head, and you know, like, but Mike was undeterred. Like Mike was almost like, you're gonna have to take me out on a stretcher for me to, you know. But I'm not going to compromise. I'm gonna play the way that, you know, the way that I play. And most people are not cut from that cloth. Most people are not cut from that cloth. You have to work your way up to that. You know what I mean? Like it seemed like I said, it seemed like Mike was born to be that way. And you have to really work your way into a situation like that. And I don't know how he came to be that way, or like, you know, what made Mike just mentally tough like that, where as though he was not going to give up. But Mike, you know, Mike was definitely a fighter. He was the real deal. And anybody who think that Mike wasn't a GOAT, and you had an opportunity to see Mike, and you had an opportunity to see whoever you think the GOAT is, man, and no way you can you know, like what Mike brought to the table, nobody else brought that to the table. Nobody else was just like that. Kobe was there. Kobe, like, kind of like I said, Kobe got into that point where he was like, you know, he wasn't going, you would have to pull him out on a stretcher too. Kobe just got to that point. But most people not gonna you know, they you know, most people would blink. You know, they leave that floor. If they're not sure if you're gonna take your feet from under them, or if you're gonna put your foot down so they'll land on, you know, they'll land on your foot and they'll get a twisted ankle, or you're gonna take a hard foul. I remember Bruce Bowen played for who? He played for the Spurs. Bruce Bowen played for the Spurs. And I think he did that to Kawhi Leonard when Kawhi was it Bruce Bowen? I'm not sure who it was, but somebody let Kawhi Leonard land on their foot and they just twisted Kawhi's ankle. But Mike just, he ain't care. Like, you know, like I said, Mike just, whatever you did to Mike, whatever Detroit did and how they beat him up, man, and Mike just fought through all that, and you know, to never score under 15 points in a playoff game. You can't say that about Steph Curry. You can't say that about LeBron James. Jason Terry and the little guard for I forgot that guard name, but they held LeBron James to 8 points. And both of those guys are way smaller than LeBron. Held LeBron to 8 points in a championship game. What was his name? I forgot that guy's name, but like I said, you can't say that about nobody else in basketball history not scoring at least 15 points in a game. And so, yeah, man, Mike set the bar high, and I don't know, the way the game is played today, I don't know that anybody will ever be able to reach, you know what I mean? You might see somebody get 6 championships, but you'll never see nobody who played the game the way they played, like the way Mike played it back, you know. So, and that's why I believe that fans of today are really getting cheated, because they don't understand it, you know, they're not getting like that kind of dedication and that kind of passion that Mike brought to the game. And so, you know, it's all manufactured now. But yeah, I thought that was a great post about Michael Jordan. And so I agree with it. You know, that's my take on it. And with that being said, make sure to like, subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. And I'll check you all out in the next video.